booked a flight to Mallorca, Spain. Be going there in January, and this will be the first excursion of 22 ways going abroad. Good morning. This is my first hike. I just came down this little path through the olive grove from Dr. Elisabet Sahtouris' home, just about 10 minutes up that way. And then I probably have another half an hour to go down this little path. Today I'll be getting the interview for Dr. Elisabet Sahtouris. We've had an amazing last few days together. Being around her and being in conversation with her is like exploring so many parts of the world and so many dimensions of our experience here on the planet. It's like exploring history on an evolutionary scale and exploring what the future could look like, given we have people like Elisabet to give us, impart information and theories to really build a future in a way that could work for everybody. I remember one of the questions that I got to ask her last night was what our purpose as human beings on this planet, what our purpose is. And hopefully she shares that with us in the interview later.
We're talking about love, and the first thing that comes to my mind is that as an evolution biologist, I also believe in spirit as part of our world. So the world is made up of all the vibrations of spirit and energy and matter as if it were on one keyboard. So I see no need to integrate science and spirit because I have not pulled them apart. And from that perspective, love is not just the kind of emotion that we have as biological creatures, but also cosmic love embodied in us. And in fact, I think that the main point of being human, of incarnating as a human being, is precisely to bring that cosmic love in, not only to our heads and our hearts, but all the way down to our toes, so that we know that we're in love with the whole universe, with each other, that we recognize our oneness, that we love others as ourselves. And of course, primarily, if you can't love yourself, you can't love anyone else. We're in the village of Dea, which is a small town of only 800 people year-round on the island of Mallorca in Spain. And this festival is a typical village festival that happens about once a month on different saints' days and different kinds of celebrations. And the whole idea is to keep the village bonded, close together, dancing with each other, singing together, eating together, so that they will maintain a spirit of love rather than hostilities. So it's a wonderful ancient tradition that's still going on today.
Hola, ella se llama Perla. She wants to know what is love. Talk to her about it. What is love?
Amor es lo que estoy bailando.
El amor somos todos.
I don't know what is love, but I think love is
Sí,
two in one.
¿Qué es amor? ¿Qué es amor?
The next day, I headed to Barcelona for a bit of a solo adventure. I had no idea where I'd be staying, nor did I know whether I'd be able to shoot interviews without my dearest crew members, Chris and Paresh. It didn't take long, however, to settle into a hostel and get out simply to enjoy the beautiful sights, the rich culture, the amazing architecture, and within 36 hours of arriving, I couldn't believe it, but I actually met the perfect two people to help out with some street interviews. Christina and Thibaut. Christina had just moved to Barcelona from Norway to study television production of all things, and Thibaut moved to Barcelona from Argentina and was our tour guide one evening. And that night I remember telling both of them about the project, and I asked if they'd be interested in helping. And 2 days later, Hola, buenos tardes. We are here in Barcelona, Spain. This is Park Güell, one of the most beautiful parks in all of Spain. And we're here doing some interviews. We'll see if we can find some interesting people with interesting perspectives about love and relationships here in the park. And that's it. Ciao! We are out on the streets and in the parks, and eventually into the night in the wine bars, interviewing people from all over the world. Argentina, Italy, Turkey, Portugal, Poland, and one of my favorites, a Hare Krishna devotee from Belgium.
It's a bit like, in many religions also we can find out that people have a relation with God, but this helps them because they see everybody as a partial part of God. You can feel that love.
Are you religious in any way?
Well, if you looked at the word religious, it means religión, revincular, to reconnect again with our original spring. So yeah, in that aspect I could call myself religious. I think that love is the difference between a good friendship and a loving relationship is that in certain intimate expression you have a little reservation about a very special part of yourself that you only share with this person. I'm not only talking about sex. Maybe it would hurt my girlfriend if I talk about some very subtle emotional aspects about myself to you tonight. Maybe it would hurt her more than I would be flirting with you.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be because we met one time, yes, and the first time we met, we had sex, right?
Yeah, and since then we actually spent time 24 hours a day, a lot of time together.
Yeah. Next week she moved in because she was looking for a flat in London. So you moved in just for
a few days.
Supposedly just for a week. And she never moved out until now.
I'll never forget this day, which just so happened to be on the 22nd of January, of course. It was a late night, but it was so worth it. I feel that I made some really great new friends, and I got to immerse in the diverse culture of Barcelona. And I got to charge the first step for this project to explore the question, how does love and relationships show up across different cultures?
So, it's meant to be. Love happens. Love really happens.
The trip ended with a sense of awe. I was awed by how strikingly similar and how vastly different people are in their ways of loving. But more importantly, I left feeling my heart had been deeply touched. and blown open by how gracious human beings can be. I left grateful for a vessel through which I could connect with so many people on such a deep and profound level.
Certain way, we just jump on a river and we follow the love river, and you can get on in and out of that river whenever you want. If you want to feel angry and want to be mean and you don't want to love anybody, you can just get out of the river, but you will be alone.
Can you ever drown in the river of love? Can it ever be too much of love?
Yeah, ask Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.